All right, Coach Ford, coming off a good win against Andrews. You've got 2-0 in conference. Got to been able to get your feet wet, but now you hit Swain and Murphy back to back. One of the things that we've talked about just as media, you hear Coach talk all the time, just Coach speak. We just want to go 1-0. We don't care who we're playing. We try to prepare the same way, but I think that's a little bit of I think that's hearsay because when you play a team like you got Swain County coming down the barrel
Yeah,
this Friday, the intensity ramps up. Everything changes.
it does. And you don't let your kids get out of focus for the week that you're preparing for currentently. But as a staff, I mean, you look ahead sometimes and you go ahead and try to be more prepared those weeks because it's I said it earlier a few weeks back when we went through one gauntlet, we're going through another. So we've had great practices. Kids, the intensity level, you do see a difference with the kids. They know it's Swain Week. They know it's big. It's big to the communities. So they're excited. Our weight room workouts have been different. The practices have been different. So they know what it is.
What do you see differently? I mean, Swain's obviously completely morphed into a different football team this year. What do you see? What did they do well?
They're coached really well. The quarterback coming back and staying healthy for them, you can tell it's kind of the glue with that group. He's a good little runner, throws the ball pretty well as well, and they're doing a lot of stuff different offensively. They kind of was trying to find identities. It seemed like the last couple of years. So I think they've found theirs. They're doing some counter H stuff with just different formations, the split back veer or I or stuff like that. They play hard. I think they've got them bought in and believe in what they're doing.
What about you guys? What is a matchup to watch as far as Robbinsville versus Swain? What's one phase that you guys are really hammered in on?
Well, I think you got two similar teams. You really do. And you look, we've had a couple different opponents that were the same, and we both played Franklin a lot similar. We went to Heritage, took a tough loss up there. They had Heritage at home and beat Heritage. Great win for them. But I think this mistakes. You've got to play clean in games like these. Turnovers, penalties, getting behind the sticks. Both defenses play hard. And I think it's gonna be a fun night at Big Oaks. I think
It's another thing I wanted to ask. It's your first time being the head coach in a game like this. What are you most excited about for it's your biggest game yet?
yeah.
Huh?
Just to see how the kids respond in that environment. Because we've had good crowds the last several weeks, and I told them yesterday. I said when we pull down Night Street, if our minds are not blown, and we stay focused on the task. I like seeing them like that. If you come down Night Street and they get big eyed when they see it already, the gate already out to the road, then it's tough because you got to settle them down. We've got to play football still. So just to see that, and to let see these kids in that atmosphere, because last year we didn't have many of those atmospheres. Schedule wise, it's just how it worked out. But these kids deserve that high school football atmosphere that only the Smoky Mountain Conference does best. So we're excited about that.
So you mentioned the intensity gets ramped up, and you talked about kids getting big eyes and things like that. Who do you rely on? Because I mean, a coach can only do so much. Who do you rely on? As your players to look their teammates in the eyes and kind of right the ship and calm cool things down.
We've seen some leadership kind of start stepping up. Your Isaac Collinses, your Beaton Gibbies, Luke Lovin, Kellen Inslee. And then some of your guys that are leaders lead in a different way there. They kind of, they're not you got Tiggers and Eeyores, and they're not just definitely your Eeyores, but they are kids that keep the ship balanced. Your Jason Buchanan's, Dane Daniels, and every team needs that. So, you've got Dane Daniels, Kellen Inslee, John Romero. Those three played huge minutes for us against Mount Airy in the regional final game 3 years ago when they were sophomores. So these seniors have been in this moment. Isaac Collins as well played several snaps that game. They've been in these big moments, seen Big Oaks packed out, and know how to deal with that. So we look to those guys to kind of settle these young guys down if they get too amped up.
Well, like we said, you've got a home game. Got anything you want to say to your community? You got to use that home field advantage while you can.
Yeah, our community's been showing up. We appreciate it. Don't let Swain County outdo us. That's all I got to say. Pack Big Oaks out, and let's be loud. So the kids feed off that. They love it.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you. Go Knights.
Thanks. Go Knights.